And we're recording.
All right. I started making a video and I got off track and started watching this guy trying to scale his load, and he became the topic of the video. This guy in this Freight Incorporated, AAA Freight Incorporated truck, he has gone over this scale and scaled that load 6 or 7 times. I've never seen anyone move their tandems and scale a load 6 or 7 times. And the last time that he did it, I think I know why he's having so much trouble, is that he's not counting the notches. He's just kind of like, oh, let's move it 3 or 4 inches forward. Let's move it, a foot forward. He's not moving the tandems based on the number of notches. He's moving them based on distance. And his last move that he did, he completely just winged it. He moved the tandems back, didn't even get out to see how far back he moved them, and then locked them into place. Because I think he's got an air, I can see the button on it. He has an air slide, which if you set the trailer brakes, it'll lock the pins into place. And then you have to move the trailer a little bit to get them into the actual notch. But anyway, that ended up being the topic of the video, so I'm redoing the video. I just finished my first week. Damn, I think he screwed up again. He's going to have to do it again. Well, he's becoming the topic of the video again. I'm not going to talk about him anymore. I just finished my first week. I had 3,400 miles. 3,396 paid miles. That's including empty and loaded miles. All miles are paid. Well, they do household good miles, so I probably drove a couple hundred miles more than that I didn't get paid for. And so that sucks real bad. But I did 3,400 miles. So there were 2 accomplishments in my first week that most people would be envious of. Number 1, having over a 3,000 mile week is big. There are a lot of people who've never done a 3,400 mile week like I just did on my first week. I run really hard. The other thing that I did in my first week that most people rarely ever do is I averaged over 600 miles per day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All of those days, my actual driven miles, not my paid miles, but my actual driven miles, I averaged over 600 miles a day every one of those days. Now, Sunday I only worked 2 hours, so I obviously didn't do 600 miles Sunday, so I'm excluding Sunday. But counting in all the rest of the days, I did, I averaged 600 miles a day. And a lot of people rarely ever do a 600 mile day. Some people have never done a 600 mile day. And it's, for me to average that, basically doing 600 mile days every day of the week, that's kind of a big deal. So I'm happy with how I ran. I could have done more miles if I were given better runs, but the problem is that they don't do long trips very, like, I got one trip that paid 1,400 miles. Everything else was like 350 miles. So you're going to shippers and receivers and dealing with them a lot. I'm hoping that my driver manager sees how many, like how hard I run, and she gets me like really good loads. And I hope that I show up on some metrics somewhere and I show up as a really good driver, and they like they give me something, like give me a dedicated where I can get a ton of miles or something. Just, I'm hoping that I get rewarded in some way. And I'm hoping that I continue to get good miles every week. One of the negatives is that I didn't get home time this week. Whoever did my trip planning said that I could take 2 days off at home on my way to San Antonio, which is where I'm at right now. I'm in Seguin, Texas or something like that. The town that I technically delivered to is New Braunfels or something like that. It's just north of San Antonio. I don't know how far exactly. I think I'm like 20 or 30 miles north of San Antonio. Delivered to a Walmart distribution center. But I picked up that load in, I think, Fremont, Ohio. And, or no, it was just outside of Columbus. I can't remember if it was Fremont. Fremont might be the exact town name. I know I picked it up just somewhere outside of Columbus, and I drove it down to San Antonio. That was a really good run. What the hell is with these people? They're having to scale these loads so many times. I've never had to scale a load twice. Well, I haven't had them put like 47,000 pounds on me. The heaviest load I've had was 45. And I've never had a problem. Like, I don't think they understand how much weight each notch is or something. Like, this guy in the freight, like, he's becoming the top of the video again. This is like his 8th time he scaled this load. That he's moved the tandems and scaled this load like 8 times. At least 8 times. It's probably more than that. And this will be Werner's 2nd or 3rd time that he scaled that load. They're having a hell of a time. But really good miles my first week. 3,400 miles for any week. For a veteran to do 3,400 miles is awesome. For someone to do 3,400 miles their first week, that is really incredible. So I'm happy with that. It comes out to like, it's going to be at 46 cents a mile. So you can do the math on that. I think it's $1,560 that I'll make my first week. And I'm not sure. I don't think I get any kind of other bonus pay. But I hope to, crank it out Monday morning. I'm just doing this video right now to decompress because I just ran a really, really hard week. I just finished my delivery and I just now parked to basically, I'm going to take the rest of tonight off, all of Sunday off, and I'm going to get up real early Monday morning to roll out. Hopefully I know what I'm doing Monday morning at some point tomorrow. I don't want to, get up at 6 a.m. Monday morning and still not have a load. They've been decent about giving me a load before I finish my current load, but I usually don't know what I'm going to be doing next until I'm almost done with whatever it is I am doing, which kind of sucks. I would prefer to be pre-planned out, 2 or 3 loads in advance or something, to get an idea of what my week's going to be like and how I need to manage my hours and all that. He still did not, like, this, he's not counting notches. He's just, you see, he's not looking under there and, like, counting. You count from the front and count the number of notches from the front. He's just, maybe he's got numbers on there and he's not having to count that. I've never seen him count the notches. He just kind of moves the tandems around. Watch him do this. He's not even going to go back after he moves the tandems and check and see what notches that they're in. He's just completely winging it. And Werner, man, I think he might have finally gotten it. He didn't move his tandems. Werner's having to go back through for like the 3rd or 4th time to scale his. And this guy in the flatbed's trying to back in. flatbedders have a reputation for not being good backers because most flatbedders rarely ever back. You're mainly just like pulling up to a construction site or some kind of yard, and you just pull up and stop, and a forklift will come out and put crap on your flatbed. Some flatbedders back a lot, but most don't. So you can have like a 10-year veteran flatbedder that backs like a first-year noob. But anyway, I'm gonna I don't know, I'll play video games. I've got my PlayStation. Let me turn this off so it doesn't show my name on there. I think I've shown my setup here. I'm using the top bunk for storage. That's where I'm sleeping. My fridge. I have DirecTV with Cinemax, HBO, and the NFL Sunday Ticket if the NFL ever happens again. And that's the TV that came with the truck. I got one of the very rare trucks that has DirecTV in it. It was a pilot program where they were going to test out like putting DirecTV in all the trucks, and it didn't work out. The people who had the DirecTVs in the trucks were like late a lot. They were just sitting around screwing off watching TV. I don't know why it's such a big deal, because like that TV is probably $50. Anybody can put a damn TV in one of these trucks. I don't know why it's such a big deal, but the DirecTV package is probably like a $100 a month package. That part of it is expensive. But, everybody has access to Netflix and shit like that. I don't know why DirecTV would keep people from... Like, the only thing that would be cool about DirecTV is live sports. And, sports aren't happening right now. So, yeah, not watching any. But I brought my PlayStation 3. Not my latest console is an Xbox. I did not bring that. I don't really play any games on the Xbox. I play NCAA 14 on this thing. What else I got over there? I'll probably hook up my CB at some point this on my 34 here. And there's a couple of other minor things that I want to fix or adjust on the truck while I'm, on my day off. You don't have any time to do anything during the week. You're just, as soon as you finish something, you're doing something else. I just ran hard all week. Shit. Just a second, I'm going to pause this. Well, shit, it escaped me. I paused the video to try to remember what I was about to say because there were two things I wanted to say, and I forgot the second one. This guy is still going at it. This is probably like his 10th to 12th time that he's scaled this load, and he's moving his tandems again. He's going to be scaling again. I would go out and offer to help him, but most truck drivers are... they don't respond well to someone like, oh, here's somebody wearing a mask. Yep, shit's getting real. It's starting to be more common to see people walking around in masks. Most people get really defensive if I were to go up and ask him if he wanted some help, he'd be like, oh no, I got this. It's just, this thing. He'll have a couple of excuses on why it's not working out or something. Like there was a guy that I tried to help back in at that place that was tough to back into. He actually came over and asked me to just watch his blind side to make sure he wasn't going to hit me. And I said, yeah, absolutely. So I got out and I stood out there and let him know that he wasn't going to hit me, and if he was going to get close, I'd let him know. And I tried to give him some, pointers. I tried to give him some direction on turning and stuff. And he got a little upset with that. Because I don't know how to describe it, that like you're the captain of your own ship, and everyone that drives a truck thinks of themselves, well, not everyone, most people that are truck drivers, they're used to being the captain of their ship, and they don't trust anybody else to, for anything. I don't trust anybody. Like, if somebody wants to help me back up, I'm never going to turn down help. If somebody wants to watch and make sure I don't hit something, then awesome. I'm never going to turn that down, but I'm not going to trust them. If I think that I'm getting close to something, I will stop and get out and look. I don't care if I have a spotter there. They're a great secondary thing, but I don't ever fully trust a spotter. Because sometimes they won't be watching what they need to be watching, and they'll be looking at something else, and you'll hit something, and they'll be like, oh man, I didn't even think you were that close over on that side. I wasn't even looking at that. I was looking at this over here. So don't ever fucking fully trust a spotter. Even when I was in training, I didn't trust my trainer as a spotter. I would get out and look when I thought I was getting close. But I think I'll end the video there. I'm starting to ramble a bit. I had a really good week. I'm tired. I think I'm going to go in, take a shower, and then actually I think I'm going to eat first, because I have some leftovers in the fridge. I'm going to finish those off. Then I'm going to go in and take a shower. And then I'm going to come back out here and maybe play some Star Wars Galaxies on my laptop. We'll see. But I think he's going... Okay, this guy just gave up, and now he's just going around asking random people to help him with his tandems, with his weight distribution thing. We'll see if he gets the help that he's wanting. Again, captain of your own ship. Most truck drivers are not going to say they don't know. He might be asking somebody that doesn't know shit about it, somebody else that has as much trouble scaling a load, but they may give him some bullshit answer, and you may have two people screwing up over there. If he comes and asks me, I'll be able to help him out with it, but we'll see if he makes it that far down. He started down there, and he's talking with somebody right now. If he doesn't get a good answer, he might keep coming down this way. But I'll end the video there and start my weekend. Bye.